Let's continue with our Chapter 5 video lecture. In Part 1, we added a bunch of new customers. We now want to run a customer contact list report. So click on Reports. We'll take shortcuts. Find Report by Name. Type in Customer Contact List, which is here. And you want to make sure that all of those new customers that we added are shown to our customer contact list. Okay? And if you were doing this for homework, you would just click on the export button, export that as a PDF file, and then submit that report to the Canvas site. Okay? We're now going to create some invoices for these new customers beginning on page 222. So click on the plus new button, then choose invoice. Again, plus new, then choose invoice. I think it's coming up. Try it again. Plus new, invoice. A little slow, but it's coming. Really slow, but here it comes. Come on, you can do it. I think my computer is tired. We'll give it a few more seconds. Come on, computer. Let's see if I go back and start over. Would that help? Okay, here it is. All right, thank you. So it finally came up. We're going to enter the invoice information beginning on page. Uh-oh, that's not what I wanted. So again, plus new, go to invoices. My computer, I think, is getting tired. There we go. Why does the screen keep? I'll see if I can close out of this screen. Okay. So now on my invoice screen, we're going to choose the customer. It's going to be eBiz, our new customer. The invoice date will be November the 15th. There we go. Under your product service tab, click your drop down arrow and choose select data storage. There you go, data storage. The quantity is going to be 5. The rate shows up automatically as being $30. Invoice amount is $150. So right now what it said, it might say save and send. Click your drop down arrow to change that to save and new. Again, click on the drop down arrow to change that to save and new. Okay. So it's telling you to go to the report tab to make sure that the invoice was saved. But we're pretty sure that the invoice was saved, so we're okay with that. And now we're going to do some additional transaction. If you take a look at page 224, you see the first transaction we just did in this invoice for the eBiz company. We're going to create some additional invoices. The data is on page 224, but we're going to first have to make sure that we've updated the sales tax for this invoice. So this first, again, look at the invoice that you see on page 224. And again, we're going to make sure that we add in the sales tax as required for these different transactions. Okay, so let's see where we start next. So we sold 2 network products on account to the law office of William Galveston Cake. So for our next customer, it's going to be the law office. This transaction took place on 11/15. That date is there already. And we sold them 2 network products. So we'll scroll down to get to our network products. There we go. And the quantity was 2. So that invoice amount should equal $100. Remember that for this particular area, there's not going to be any sales tax there. So the total amount would just be $100. So go ahead and click on Save and New. Okay. So for our next invoice, our next customer is going to be the medical service company. Permanente Medical Service Company, still on 11/15. Under your product and service tab will be completed 3 webinars. So on the product, we're going to choose the webinars. Here they go. The quantity was 3. And press your tab button. Now notice the sales tax rate should appear automatically for Arizona. Total invoice amount should equal $286.47. Click on Save and New. And we have one more invoice. For our next invoice, it'll be for the Springfield Unified School District. It's going to be our customer right here. Again, date again will be 11/15. The actual product is going to be 1 web server. So the product and service, the product is going to be a web server. Okay. And the quantity is going to be 1. Now for this one, we're going to need to add in the sales tax because the sales tax did not appear automatically. So for the sales tax rate, which is based on location, we're going to actually add in the sales tax rate. So go ahead and click here on see the math. It's Illinois Department of Revenue is correct. So go ahead and click on yes, and then click save and continue. So this is real-time stuff, and it's going to actually update it and put in the sales tax rate, as you see, as being 6.25%. Click on the close button, and now you see that the sales tax has been added for this account. Okay? So now the information is in there for this company. They gave some different steps on page 225. I kind of took a little shortcut, but the information now has been added in for our sales tax. We're all showing the correct amount on this invoice. You can go ahead and click on the save and close button. Okay, so we're now on page 226. Now, what we just did was we added a new account. The Illinois Department of Revenue was added to our chart of account. So click on your gear icon and go to your chart of accounts. And we're going to edit our chart of accounts. And when you find that account in your liability section, you see it right there. Yep. Illinois Department of Revenue. Type in 208 as the account number for the payable account for the Illinois Department of Revenue account. Once you added in the account number, then just go down to the bottom, or sorry, actually up top, and we're going to save the changes we just made to our chart of account. All right. So now on page 227, it is showing the sales tax rate you should have for Arizona and also for the Illinois Department of Revenue. And if needed, you can make those changes. Let's go to page 228. We're now going to look at some taxes. We haven't used this one yet. So go to page 228, click on your taxes icon. And under the taxes, we'll click on it may give some information on how often do you file your sales tax. Filing frequency for Arizona, that's going to be quarterly. I had to read it. So the sales tax should be quarterly. So again, for Arizona, where it said filing frequency, that's going to be quarterly. All right. Start in January. And then click on next agency. And then for Illinois, it should be quarterly as well, I believe. But let's make sure that, yeah. So where it says filing frequently for Illinois, also choose quarterly, beginning in the month of January, and go ahead and click on the save button. So it's telling us how often we're going to file the sales tax return form that shows the sales tax due to these different agencies. Okay, so it's showing you the sales tax that's due right now to Arizona, as well as the amount that's due to Illinois. We're going to now record some additional transactions beginning on page 231. Click on your plus new icon. So again, click on plus new, and this time go to your credit memo. Again, plus new, and click on your credit memo. So now we're going to allow a credit to one of our customers. This should come up shortly. There we go. So choose the customer as being eBiz. The date is going to be 11/16. The credit memo number is 1011. That's there already. Go ahead and turn to page 232. Under your product and service, we're going to select the data storage. For 1 hour, and that rate should be $30. So we're going to give them credit for 1 hour of data storage. That amount should equal $30. So where it says total credit, so let's see, because mine is not showing the credit just yet. Got the subtotal. So there's no taxes. We got the quantity. There we go. So once you press your tab button, now it should show your total credit as being $30. Okay. So that's the only credit we're going to do right now, I believe. And now we're on page 233. So go ahead and click on the Save and Close button. And we're going to come back and conclude our Chapter 5 video presentations. Bye-bye.